Hey there, gorgeous. Ah,
You're a redhead. A redhead. I had a feeling you were going to call on me.
gorgeous. First, your name, where you're from, and what happened. Go on.
Okay. My name is Eliana. I'm currently in Uberlandia and I was in a relationship for 5 years, an abusive relationship. Okay. What happened? He was one of those guys who, hanging out with friends, would constantly keep talking to me. In love, really in love. So much so that so many other people would say so. But he's that kind of player who tries to show off, saying he hooks up with this one and that one, right? And I went and cloned his phone because we got married, and I went and put an app on his phone. And I caught him talking, just by himself. He's one of those people who talks to himself, and he would say, "Oh, I don't know what." Like when I get to such and such place, like talking about what he was going to do with other people, talking with his friends, making plans with his friends. What was he going to do there? So I went and kicked him out, right?
Let me ask you a few questions. In these 5 years, did you ever find out about any cheating or not?
Vanessa, we were a couple. We were always the type of couple that had a lot of drama. At first, when I started seeing him, I was dating other people too. But why was I dating other people? Because honestly, I didn't see a future for us. The future he wanted wasn't the same as the one I wanted. So I didn't put my life on hold because of him. I dated, I did everything. But I didn't tell him because you know how men are, right? He was dating too. I knew, but did both of you always do it like that without being obvious to each other? Do you understand what I mean?
Do you know what has been absolutely amazing lately? It's that you are very clear that he's not right for you.
Now I am. But I kept insisting.
Yes, because there was a deep mystery about his character. Now you figured it out. That in reality, he's quite immature, right? He has a remarkably childish side to his personality. Why? Because he's really wanting to get attention, applause from his friends. When we're 14, we want to hang out with our little group of girls, and the boys want to hang out with their group of boys. But at 24 years old, it's time to start maturing and leave the boys' club, the applause from the boys' club behind. But you also need to see another side. You know what that is? In your relationship, the dynamic of not telling the truth has already been established. He already has a history where he wasn't being completely truthful from the very start. So he's already used to not being honest. Let me tell you something. Here's the thing. Maybe suddenly in the past year or two, he might not have cheated on you. I don't know, something like that. But I can assure you that given time, yes, he would do it. So here's the thing. From the moment you're with someone you know is going to screw you over down the line, what's the point? It doesn't make any sense at all. What are you going to do? Kick him to the curb. And for the next step, move on.
Vanessa, I'm going to be really honest. I'm going to tell you that I've made a decision which is about me. I'm going to start working at a nightclub. Why, Vanessa? Honestly, the truth is that I really need to earn enough money to live, and I definitely don't want to spend my whole life, every single hour of my time, working away like a slave.
So I'm going to give you all my opinion and my analysis, my perspective on this, okay? It is a significant component of the choice you are making. Obviously, it is not just about the financial side of the situation, but closely tied to that is your frustration in your romantic life. When I made that same decision myself, it was not just about the financial issue alone. The romantic one was present there too. And believe me, I had been involved with a guy who had cheated on me over and over again, countless times, including with escorts. What is important for you to realize? Which specific part of what you are choosing? Is it coming from the fact that you're hurt, that you're wounded? Imagine if you were in a relationship where you felt truly loved, deeply respected, and protected. And by protected, I don't mean just in a financial sense. Even if you were struggling, you wouldn't make that choice. That choice only exists because your heart is wounded. When I worked as an escort, I didn't have a vision for my life. Thank you. The vision that entrepreneurship could bring in more money than being an escort was new to me because my worldview at that time was very limited. I'll tell you, I only stopped being an escort because entrepreneurship made much more money. It was a much better business model. And when I finally started my own business online, that's when I saw the kind of real, substantial money. So what is Ando's Studio? If it is strictly for the sake of the money, oh, I am going to be an escort just for the money, I'm telling you right now, it is definitely not going to be worth it in the end. Because the amount of money you can make by being a successful entrepreneur is actually countless times, infinitely and significantly much better than that. So, from a rational and logical point of view, between being an escort and starting a business online, this here is a much better deal for the money. And you're only coming here because your heart is hurt. Do you see? That is exactly why I am telling you, your choice is much more emotional because of your deeply wounded heart than it is actually rational for purely monetary reasons. Much more than you think.
See, that's why I needed to talk to you today. Yes, I had no doubt as well as.
I'm glad we had this conversation. I want to see you becoming an entrepreneur. Beautiful. Very.
Thank you.
Kiss for you.
Kiss.
Kiss.